Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I'm Rob Booker, best-selling author of Adventures of a Currency Trader and Trading by Faith, and I have a quick Sunday lesson here for you. We're not going to spend too much time. I want to talk about my brand new class that's available right now, and you're going to see a link above or below, or you can just go to my website, robbooker.com, and the home page will give you all the details. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on this week and this month about this class. But as of right now, if you're watching right now, it's dropped. It's here, it's ready to go. It's fresh, it's all brand new, and it's the best stuff I've ever done, and it's the most exciting stuff I've ever worked on. Okay, I've been thinking about a big question, and the question is, how to take the best trades. So over the course of my trading career, as you can imagine, I've taken some terrible trades, made some huge mistakes, and then had some pretty big successes as well. One of the best known successes is a $164,000 trade I took on the British pound Swiss franc in 2010. And that's been the template for how I think about a really good trade over the course of my life. And I read a bunch of books, and I read a lot of things about being successful or being efficient or productive or whatever. And what I keep reading every time I read about success is I keep reading about rules or standards or routines. Obeying a certain number of rules, or having super high standards, or having routines that you do every day, or goals. And it's just this stuff repeated over and over again. And I think that these things provide a lot of certainty, but they don't necessarily actually equate into success. And that's why, there's a lot of books about the rules for success, and people who read those books who can't duplicate the success of the author, and so forth and so on, and we could talk about that forever. And I think about this British pound Swiss franc trade that I took, or trades that I took that didn't go well, and I think about the differences there. And to me, the difference maker between the good ones and the bad ones were a set of principles. Not rules, not standards, not setting goals. I hate setting goals, but principles. And today I want to talk about two different sets of principles. One, a set of principles for trading, and then a set of principles for business. Because I have a new class coming out, and I think it's important to, just share with you my philosophy on that as well. Maybe it's not important, I don't know. But first let's talk about trading. So when I've taken some really good trades, there have been some common principles in those trades. Not rules, not standards, not routines. I didn't wake up at the same time. I didn't put on the same uniform every day. I didn't work out every day, or I didn't even meditate. There wasn't one set routine that I did, and there wasn't one set of rules that I engaged in. However, there were some principles, and here they are. Number one, I waited for the setup. So back in 2010, I'm gonna add one here. I want to write these as simply as I can. Number one was vision. I was on a run. I was on a soccer field in Mission Viejo, California, across the street from Lake Mission Viejo, where I can't remember the names of the streets anymore. Wow, it's been a lot of years. But I remember running on those soccer fields across from Mission Viejo Lake, and I had a clear vision. And I said out loud, I'm going to do a $164,000 trade on the British pound Swiss franc. And I don't know how or why, but I could see it clearly. And there's something about knowing that it's the right time and it's the right place, and spending some time to clearly visualize what it is that's going to happen. Not setting a goal for it, but just knowing that it's the right time. And how do you do this? How does this happen? Or how does Einstein, working at the patent office, come up with the theory of relativity? I think what this is you've got to be engaged. So having a vision, you've got to be engaged in other activities in your life that are fulfilling to you, that aren't related to trading. Family, exercise, health, spirituality. You're going to have this vision for what you're going to be able to do while you're doing something else. Have you ever tried to work really hard on a problem and you couldn't come up with a solution? And you efforted and you tried and you strove and you couldn't come up with the effort. There's a quote in the Bible. I know that some of you may not be religious, but my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Come all ye that are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That we find, okay, so even if you're not religious, the principle is, okay, the principle is that you lay your burden off on the universe, or God, like lay it off somewhere else and do your daily work and get involved in things that are a good cause. I was out running, I was exhausting my body, I was taking care of myself, and I had that vision. You're going to have, my little thing fell over here, you're going to have a vision for your best trades when you're doing something else, when you're anxiously engaged, as another quote goes, in a good cause, okay? Number one, so be anxiously engaged, be actively involved in good causes, and you're going to be struck, I promise it, you're going to be struck with a vision for what's coming next. And I'm going to help you do this inside the next course. The next one is waited. Now, I didn't obey this principle. The next principle was patience, and I did not do this with the British pound Swiss franc. I went right back to the house and I started trading the British pound Swiss franc, and I started holding on to trades. And at one point, these trades were down like 40 grand. I think it was an $8 million trading account at the time. And I was down like 40 grand at one point. But one of the principles of success was, once I was down a bunch of money in this trade, I realized I had to wait. And so here's the principle. You wait so long to get into the trade that you almost feel like you've missed it a couple of times, but you won't. And you feel like there have been a lot of other people that jumped in this trade before you that are now regretting that they did it. That's the principle. Wait so long and be so patient with the trade that you can sense that other people who got in early are now struggling. God bless them, and I'm sorry for them. But you know that it's the right time. This has been an incredible principle for me in taking my most successful trades. Waiting. I have a set of indicators that I use to wait. Now, the final principle is, I don't mean to use like aggressive language, is though when I got the good one, when I got the good trade, I killed it. I mean, I really went for it. I didn't like jump out with just a little bit of profit. I went for max profit. And in the case of the British pound Swiss franc in that trade, there are others I could tell the story about, but this one's the one that's been on my mind the most. So the British pound Swiss franc is dropping. Other people are buying here, buying here, buying here. That's what most retail traders do with stocks and with currencies and everything else. And so people are buying here, and this is pain. And this is max pain. Maximum pain down here. And this was actually the Swiss interest rate decision. The guy's name is escaping me now, but he was the Swiss National Bank president, governor guy. And it was a Thursday morning, and this was the bottom. There was an exhaustion break lower, and then I just bought. It had this exhaustion break lower, and then I just started to buy. And this thing just started to climb. And so after being in pain, most people, if they start to get some relief, they get out. And I just added. I didn't get out. I added to my winning position. And there was a pivot target up here. And I just basically turned it off, walked away, and let this trade take its natural course. And I remember how stressful it was to watch it be profitable. Almost more stressful than watching it be unprofitable. I don't know if that makes any sense to you watching. But once I got it, I had to go for the kill and go for max profit. Now, why would I share all these things? Why am I sharing this right now? Well, first of all, I have a brand new class. For those of you that missed the beginning of this broadcast, if you go to the website, robbooker.com, the homepage has been turned into a discount link request page. It'll look like this. Here, I'll just show you. Oh, you can't see what it looks like because the screen went blank. So there's a discount request page, and if you go to robbooker.com, you will see that discount link request page, and this is what it looks like. So that's what you'll see, and you can put your email address in and your phone number in, and you can get a link to the course and a discount. Okay. Why am I sharing all this stuff about principles of trades right now? Because I was thinking a lot about why I'm even in business anymore and why I even do this stuff anymore. This morning I was driving into the office and I was getting you'll see the video about this, I was getting super worked up and excited about this. And I realized there are some principles or things that I believe in with respect to business. And here they are. There's three things. You can call them principles, you can call them whatever. But three guiding principles in everything that I do related to business. And I know who I am, so maybe these aren't right for you, but maybe they are. And if these things make sense to you, then we're a good fit for each other. Number one, the most important thing in my life that I strive for, the greatest happiness in my life comes from having large, enormous blocks of uninterrupted time that I can spend with my family in particular, but also with you. Time, meaning happiness for me is a Google Calendar that looks like this. Blank, 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 blank. Large blocks of uninterrupted, deep thinking time where I can be actively engaged in something good, a good cause for my family, or reading, or learning, or growing. But not have someone else scheduling or owning my time. I don't know if that matches up with you, but that's exactly how I feel. That's a motivator for me. If I feel like something that I'm doing will give me more time, then I'm going to do it. Next is freedom. I don't want to be restricted. I hate restrictions. I don't want to be restricted in what I can do for my family or what I can do for my children. I don't want to be restricted in that. I don't think that buying things for my kids spoils my kids. I think telling my children that it's okay for them to throw a tantrum is spoiling a child. So I want to provide things for my kids and for my wife, and I want to be good to them, and I want to provide for them, and I want to do things for them, and I want to have the freedom, and in particular, the financial or the money-related freedom to do those things without having any concerns. That's a huge motivator for me. And last of all, control. Control over my own, and I'm really going to actually phrase this, self-control, increased self-control. I don't know if this is a motivator for you, but imagine if you in your life had a maximum amount of self-control, right? If you were doing things in your life that increased your self-control, increased your discipline, increased your ability to focus your mind to get what you want. Imagine if all of this is why I do business. In other words, I'm here speaking to you right now on a Sunday morning because I love talking to you about getting these three things. It's not about the markets. It's not about economics. It's about having time, freedom, and control. That's why I run a trading-related business. And it's why I don't charge a whole lot for classes and stuff that I teach, because I want as many of you as possible to be able to be a part of this. And it can be overwhelming at times, but I've been given a gift, and that gift is your attention. And if you're going to give me your attention, then this is what I want to talk about. I want to obsess about these things. And it's not easy, and I don't want to say that it's easy, and I never want to claim that it's easy, and trading is risky, and trading is difficult, but it gets a lot better when I think of, is this type of trading that I'm doing going to give me more time to be with my family? Is it going to provide financial resources that give me the freedom to do the things with my family that I want? And am I increasing or decreasing my self-control with this trading methodology? That's what this new class is about. This brand new class is a trading-related class with rules, systems, strategies. But it's really at the heart about having time, freedom, and control. All right, that's a Sunday morning message. I love you to the moon and back. And I'm so grateful for all of the time that we spend together. You can follow the link inside of this video or below this video. I haven't put the links up yet, so they'll be up in a minute. And if you're just joining me now, once again, the class and all the information and a discount that expires in 24 hours is right here on the home page of my website, robbooker.com. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.